Welcome back to episode 27 of the Shy Sports Weekly podcast. We got a good show coming your way. We got a baseball show, playoff baseball, coming at you this week. Recurring guest back on the show, too. Officially recurring guest, Tony Andracki and Andy Martinez. What's up, guys?
Hey.
Thanks for joining us.
What's up? Thanks for having us.
All right, I have a dumb question. Is it recurring or reoccurring? How do you spell that word?
There's no O in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's recurring.
RECURRING.
There we go. No O.
Trust me, dude. I just got asked if I went to Notre Dame. I would know.
Touche.
Oh, you fucker.
So are you guys glad the Cubs season is over at this point?
Yes.
See, I guess. Yeah, so that's the difference between Tony and I, right? Like, this was my first whole season, so I'm like disappointed, but also not at the same time. Like, I'm really relieved that I have a little bit more free time, but I'm also at the same time like, I could watch baseball for another month. But that's also different because it's my first full year. I think had it been seats reversed, we're having the same thoughts.
Hey, how cool is Frank Schwindel?
He's pretty cool. I didn't have the opportunity to like talk to him one-on-one. I should have taken him aside at some point, but yeah, I mean, he just had a good time. Like, I think of like when he was making those catches or some of the plays at first and just like doing thumbs up or pointing to the dugout. Like, he just had a lot of fun when he was out there. So kind of fits in perfectly, I feel like, with Chicago.
All I'll say is he better be back in a Cubs uniform next year.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Do you think he'll be back?
%.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, do you think he's going to be opening day first baseman for the Cubs?
Or DH, maybe.
Or DH, yeah.
So the DH is 100% going to be a thing? Or is it like wink, wink?
Probably more of like, I think it's going to happen, but I can't say 100%.
Okay. Good fuck with that. I was texting Andy earlier. Do you think there's ever been a player that's been the NL Rookie of the Month for more than 1 month in a season and not won the award?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm sure
I don't know the answer to this. This isn't a baby notch thing. I actually don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it's probably happened, but I can't think of when it would have. It probably was a similar situation where a guy got called up late in the year and like set the world on fire, but not enough to where a rookie has been playing all 6 months and won the award. So it'll probably be something like that, but it's tough.
Like,
okay, I just cheated.
Uh-oh.
It happened in 2018 in the NL.
Ooh.
And you're going to kick yourself when you realize who it was.
Max Muncy.
Tony?
So who won the award that year, or the guy that won NL Player of the Month?
Yeah, who won NL Player of the Month and didn't win the award?
Oh man. I want to say Juan Soto, but that's too late. He made his debut before that.
No, that it is Juan Soto.
It is?
It is. Yeah. Acuna won Rookie
Dude,
of the
how do you
Month.
not remember like
Rookie of
in
the
the
Year.
World Series in 2019? I think his birthday was like game 6 and they were
Yeah.
making a huge deal out of it, how he couldn't even drink if they won before, like in the first 5 games or some shit like that. Juan Soto literally is 22 years old right now, I think.
Never doubt
2016,
myself.
Trey Turner did it too.
Oh, so this isn't actually like that uncommon.
That's what Evan Gaddis in 2013. Yeah, it's not that uncommon.
Here's one I just heard today that was
Happens every 2 years, actually.
Yeah. How many players do you think have won in a major award like Rookie of the Year or Cy Young or something who have been traded in the middle of the season?
Ooh.
Chris Bryant's won.
Are you saying in their
the season they won it? So I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But that was posed to me today because Scherzer might win this year, and he obviously like was traded mid-season, so he's an interesting one. But I mean, there's one very famous one that happened.
fuck?
Here,
This is gonna.
Oh, I know it. I know it.
He's one of your colleagues, Kyle.
Rick Sutcliffe?
Sutcliffe.
Rick Sutcliffe?
Yeah.
Fucking rights, Daddy. Wow, that's so stupid. How did I not know that? Oh, I feel like such an idiot. Max, would you have guessed that?
No.
At least he's honest.
I was like, I
Yeah,
know
I
it's
mean-
not Psalm.
But dude, he went to Notre Dame.
Yeah. I feel like Dempster was on the tip of your tongue there, Kyle.
Oh my God, it was. It really was. Well, so I was thinking, I kept thinking the same lines of like how Chris Bryant won the MVP, even though he explicitly said that's not the case. Like it has to be in their MVP or Cy Young season. So he's the only player ever for that to happen to.
No, I don't know for sure what that is. I just was asked the question if it's ever happened, and I was like, well, I know of one for sure who won like a major award, Cy Young, because in '84 when Sutcliffe got traded. But no, I don't know. I should actually do some more digging and research and figure that out because it's probably pretty rare, but it's obviously happened at least once and maybe a second time this year if Scherzer wins it.
So this is going back to probably like 04, maybe 05, whenever Carlos Beltran got traded to the Astros. Do you remember he got traded there and just absolutely went off in the second half? Did he by chance win? And I mean, I know that was like in the Pujols heyday, but could he have won anything there? We'll get our stat guy Ty on that. Ty, can you look up if Carlos Beltran ever won an MVP?
Yeah, I'll let me get back to you, dude.
Don't get caught up in his the Google search Carlos Beltran's mole though.
Nobody's ever been traded during an MVP season from what I have just found.
I feel like if you're an MVP candidate, like likely going to win, either no one's going to trade you because you have to get a king's ransom in return, or your team's really, really good that why would you trade it? You know, like Mike Trout, you're not going to trade him. And Max Scherzer with the Cy Young Award, you're not going to trade him because you need him to win in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good question. So this year, say the Cubs were at the deadline, they were in the exact same spot as they were this year, but say Javi was having an MVP type year. Do you think the Cubs still would have traded him?
Yeah, it would have been one of the fluke situations where, like Andy's saying, it would have happened, but it's probably extremely, extremely rare.
I think,
Really rare because it's never happened.
yeah.
Beltran has never won an MVP. There you go. 9-time
Stats
All-Star
guy.
though.
9 times. He was the Mets manager for like 45 minutes.
That one
Yeah,
happened.
he was.
What was I going to say? So let's talk a little offseason here. And then we're going to talk one question for the offseason, and we're going to go back to our preseason predictions, which were fucking brutal. Ian Happ, there's no way the Cubs don't tender him a contract, right? Like is that the right phrase? They're going to
It's
tender him.
confusing. Yes.
Like they non-tendered Schwarber last year, so they're going to chicken tender Happ,
They're
right?
will be on the Cubs next year.
There we go. Okay.
Yes.
This is me just being like high thought, but I think what Kyle Schwarber's done this year will make Jed second guess about him not tendering Happ a contract. Do you think, is that like,
You're saying they're the same person?
he doesn't want to make the same mistake twice?
I'll go
I
in.
think Schwarber's a better hitter than Happ, though.
I think there's and Tony, you can correct me if I'm wrong because you've covered Schwarber longer, but there's like a little bit of the whole change of scenery thing, right? Like I don't think it's not an A equals B, B equals C type thing. Like had he re-signed, I don't think necessarily he's hitting 35 bombs and doing what he did. That's not to say he was going to be terrible had he re-signed, but like I don't think what he did this year he was necessarily going to do with the Cubs. Had he re-signed or had they brought him back?
Yeah, I think it was also a rare situation where they talked about the offense needing to diversify and just be different. And Schwarber just, with him in the lineup, it was just a name that was the easiest to cut, same with Almora, but like these guys that you could just attack up and in with a high fastball and you can get through most of the Cubs lineup that way. Like that was the case in, 18, 19 and 20 for a while. So like they just wanted to do something different. I don't think they ever thought Kyle Schwarber was going to be terrible or like go to another team because he showed it before. I mean, he didn't even have a good first half in 2019 and still finished with 38 homers, 92 RBI, almost a 900 OPS. So like he was really good before. He's shown what he did this year, he basically showed in 2019. And again, with a kind of rough first half, he was so hot in the second half. He was almost as good as Castellanos that second half after the All-Star break and trade deadline. So I don't think they thought that this was going, they didn't think that they were going to trade Schwarber or whatever, non-tender Schwarber, and he was going to like be a bust and never play well. I think they reasonably assumed that he might hit 30 homers for somebody again this year, post a good on-base percentage and stuff. They just wanted to get a little different. And that's what Jock Peterson was like. He hit high fastballs. He made a bit more contact, maybe a bit stronger defensively. Like they thought it could work out. It obviously didn't. And it worked out well for Schwarber because now he can win a World Series. Let's see.
Ooh, I like that. We can get into prediction stuff later. But let's go back to the first part. Our over-unders of home runs and and wins. Jesus, the wins one really does kill me. Because when you have a bet and you consider it like the ultimate lock or like it's just a win then, like at some point, like if you had the Falcons in the Super Bowl and they're up 28-3, you're like, all right, give me the money. Like there's no way the Patriots are coming back. I legitimately think it was right after the Cubs no-hitter. And I was like, damn, they're 11 games over at the end of June. There's no fucking way they don't hit at least 81 wins, right? And the over was 78.5.
It was a layup. It looked like a layup.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was.
I thought you were going to win the division.
Yeah.
You remember that LeBron James block? Like that's what it felt like.
What it is.
Yeah,
That's
like it's
exactly
like,
what it is.
We're gonna tap it in.
Or it's like you're going for a layup and then somebody adjusts the hoop to 10 feet instead of like 7 feet and you just flop. It's bad. All right. So all of these totals, the home run totals. So Rizzo, we had 30.5. Me and Max said over. Tony and Andy said under. So congrats.
What do we win?
You get to be a recurring guest.
All right.
Javi, 28.5. Me, Andy, and Max said over. Tony, you said under. I think he had 30 this year, right? Ty, you want to look that up?
Yeah. Home runs this year.
Yeah, give me that. KB, 24.5. We all said over. That hit. Wilson, 21.5. We all said over. I think he finished with 21. I just need to give a shout out to me because I set that line off the top of my head and I was right on the money. Jason Hayward, 14.5. Me and Max said over. Me and Max said over on all of them, by the way.
I'm surprised.
I do remember that. I remember everything was an over.
Tony and Andy said under, so you guys got that. This is actually the only one you said under on. I set the line at Jock 33.5. And he hit 18. You guys all said under, so that was smart. Ian Happ, 25.5. We all said over, and he hit 25. So again, that's a shout out me for picking the correct line.
31 is what I got for Javi.
For Javi?
Yeah.
There we go. That makes sense. So that
Over. Boom.
And
We
then,
should have done an over under on Ian Happ's strikeout percentage.
oof. I would've taken-
I
would've taken
feel a little robbed on the half home runs though, because that first half of the season, he probably had like the highest like expected home runs, just the way he was hitting the ball, and they were just not going out. So I feel like there's a little asterisk on that one.
Yeah, and he didn't play a full season either. I mean, I guess he did play, but he was on the IL for a bit. Yeah, him hitting
Logic, you
25
can put. I was just gonna say with that logic, you can put an asterisk on everything. Like the Cubs' 12-game losing streak or 11-game losing streak, they win 78.5 games. You know.
Yeah, that's true. You don't have those. That over hits.
Listen, I'll take a spin zone any way I can get it. Are you kidding me? Oh man, honestly, the 78.5 wins, did you ever think that at that point, right after the no-hitter, if somebody would have asked you at that time to place a bet on the Cubs over 78.5 wins, you would have been like, yeah, this is the easiest money on the planet.
How much would you have put on it? Like, I probably would have put
Everything.
$1,000, and I don't bet a lot, but I probably would have put $1,000 that they would have over 78.5 at that time.
Yeah.
And they were 34-23, coming off a
Yeah.
no-hitter of the World Series champs. Think of like all the crazy. So yeah, they were season high 11 games over. They just no-hit the defending champs. And then that was their 4th game in a row against them. And they were 4-0 against the Dodgers at that point.
They were 4-0 against the
after that
Dodgers. They had
Yeah.
they were great against the Padres. Like,
Mhm.
had you said all that before the season, it's like, all right, the Cubs are going to be really, really good this year. And then obviously we saw the Padres and we saw the Cubs.
While we're playing hypotheticals, if they kept Rizzo, KB, Javi, and Kimbrel, they definitely would have. I think they definitely would have gotten over 78 net.
I mean, they'd at least be they're 500 at that time, so I think they would be 500. They'd be 79 and 83, and I'd be throwing $100 bills around right now. But they didn't. Now I'm fucked. Let's see what else do we got here. All right, let's go into the starting 5. Am I missing anything, Max?
No.
I mean, it's too early to tell for the offseason. I know it's like you see.
I mean, before we do
they're going-
starting 5, do we want to talk playoff predictions, odds?
Oh yeah, duh. Jesus Christ, that was literally the main point. And that's really. I knew we were forgetting something.
Oh, you knew that 16 minutes wasn't enough for one podcast? Figure that one out.
Holy shit, I am so high.
Doing something like, the entire thing we want to talk about.
Yeah, the
Literally,
whole show.
Wow, that's 0 for 1. You can cut that off if you want.
Oh no, we're keeping that.
All right, we'll start AL wildcard game. I'm gonna write all the predictions down here. AL wildcard game. Yankees at Red Sox. Who we got? Ty, you're getting in on this too.
If you say so, dude.
All right, we'll start with we'll go Andy, Tony, Max, Ty, me. All right,
Okay.
who you got?
So I was when the starting pitching was announced, I was like, Garrett Cole, Evaldi. I was like, that's a no-brainer. Like, Garrett Cole's just going to shove and the Yankees are going to win. Did not realize how great of a season Nathan Evaldi is having. 4.6 baseball reference WAR, 3.75 ERA. Like, he's been pretty good. 1.19 WHIP.
I'm in a strikeout machine too, right?
Yeah, like he is like, I don't know, like, and the thing we saw when they won the World Series in 2018, like he was really good for them. So I think I'm going with the Red Sox. And I think that one's going to be a really good game.
Oh, I like that. Tone.
Yeah, I'm going to say Red Sox too. I just didn't like the way the Yankees were playing on that final weekend or final week of the season. They came real close to like letting it slip away. So I'm going to say Red Sox. I think they've been playing. They're going into the game a little bit hotter, and I actually didn't know that. I didn't know Evaldi was having that great of a season either. So I'm going to say that. I'm going to say Red Sox, and the way Rafi Devers is hitting too. I think between him and Schwarber and Bogarts, and if JD Martinez is able to play with his ankle, like that could actually be a pretty potent offense to go up against Garrett Cole. So I'll say Red Sox.
So Rafi Devers yesterday, he hit that game-winning home run in the 9th inning to put him in the playoffs. I don't know who the Red Sox play-by-play guy is, but it was an absolutely terrible call with the magnitude and everything. We saw that video that you sent the other day, of the Mariners broadcaster on was it a single? Haniger's go-ahead single.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was just to keep them in the race. This was literally putting them in the playoffs, and he called it like it was a 7th inning home run in May. I was like, this is terrible. Yeah, that was brutal. But I digress. Max, what do you got?
I'm rolling with the Red Sox too at Fenway Park. Plus, I had Bogarts on my fantasy team this year, so
Max going to give it to you. Ty?
I'm going Red Sox because fuck the Yankees. That's all. That's it. That's my
I
logic.
was gonna say what I need. Ty, you need to give the most analysis here of everyone, though.
Yeah, right, dude. You know how many baseball games I literally watched like 3 games on TV, and then I
Oh, were you
literally
at the Pirates game yesterday?
yeah,
or
and
2
then I
days
literally
ago?
went to 2 Pirates games in a row this weekend, and that's the most baseball I've watched all year.
How was that?
Great time. My liver is on fire. Drank so many fucking beers. It's a good time though. Good time.
Oh, there he is. I love that.
There it is.
All right, fuck. Well, I was gonna pick the Red Sox, but no, we're going clean sweep of the Red Sox here. All
I'll
right?
say their bullpen can be a problem. Did Matt Barnes ever figure it out? I know he was struggling big time for a while.
I'm actually only saying Red Sox because I do not want the Yankees to win. I feel torn. I'm like, it's like watching your 2 kids play with it's Rizzo versus Schwarber. I don't like that.
You feel
Well,
like
the-
Rizzo's dad?
Say that again.
You feel like Rizzo's dad or Schwarber's dad? They're like your
Yeah. Yeah. In this situation, yeah. That's the best analogy I have. I want them
They
both
probably
to
don't
win.
feel like that.
I want them both to win. No, I would bet my life they don't. All right. I know wild card game, Cards, Dodgers.
I don't know who I hate. I don't know which team I hate more anymore in this game.
You don't like the Dodgers?
Who likes the Dodgers?
I mean, they're just kind of like another team. Like everybody hates the Yankees, but nobody like hates the Dodgers.
The Dodgers became the Yankees of the West with how many players they bought over the years.
Yeah, but they have 1 ring in the last 30 years.
Right. It's awesome. It's fun watching them choke every year.
Where the Yankees, I know they haven't won in a decade here, but they have 6.
Plus,
5?
I'll say I feel like the Cubs kind of developed a bit of a rivalry with them in the playoffs.
Yeah,
From
starting
16
in 08 with James Loney.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that around here.
I was at that game.
Yeah, I know. Do you remember who hit the home run to start that game?
Mark DeRosa, right field corner.
Oh, God damn it. That was
Just told you I
what
was
it?
there.
It's a good fucking memory.
Yeah, I didn't know if you would. I don't remember every home run I've seen at a baseball game. That's crazy. That was 13 years ago now. Tone, what grade were you in 13 years ago?
Don't put mans on blast like that.
No, it's all right. What year was that? 08? I was a junior in college.
Damn.
Oh wait, wow.
I was
What were
was
we?
that
14.
which game are we talking about? Was that the one where Dempster gave up the grand slam?
Yeah.
Playing a flag football game and the Cubs were up whatever it was, like 4-0 or 5-0 or something. So like that was back in the days before smartphones. So like I couldn't check the score or anything. And I came back to my apartment after and the Cubs were down. Dempster had given up the grand slam. And I was like, this is super depressing.
Who else on the Dodgers hit a home run in that game?
Manny Ramirez,
Yep.
number 99.
Go.
Tony, that's literally the exact same analogy I had earlier with like you went to your softball game at the Cubs being 34-23, and you came back at the end of the year and they were 71-91.
Yeah.
Yeah, life comes at you fast
It does.
down at the stew. All right, let's go. Andy, Dodgers, Cardinals. Who you got?
The under.
Don't you fucking say the Cardinals.
I lean towards the Dodgers just because of the names and the paperwork, but the Cardinals have been really, really hot. Wainwright's been really, really good. I'm gonna go with the Dodgers just based on the names, and Scherzer's really been really, really good since he came over. But his last start against the Padres, he really struggled. I was watching that game on ESPN, and he was struggling against the Padres. And then Max Muncy being hurt is definitely like that's a big like eye opener, not only for the wild card game, but if they move forward. But I'm gonna go Dodgers, but that one I'm not 100% confident in.
And it was confirmed that Scherzer is starting at Scherzer Wainwright.
I think so.
I think so. Yeah, I guess
that's-
I just assumed. Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, perfect. All right, Tone.
I'm going to say the Cardinals. It's pretty much impossible to get Tyler O'Neill out right now. It's pretty much impossible to get Trey Turner out in the Dodgers too. But yeah, like Andy just said, if Max Muncy's out, I think that hurts their chances. But I don't know. I mean, the Dodgers obviously are a really good team. I just think the Cardinals are hotter, and you don't mess with that momentum as they're going in the playoffs. So unless the two days off for the Cardinals really messes with them, which it could, I think the Cardinals are going to pull this out. And Wainwright's just had an absolutely incredible season too. So I know Scherzer's been good, but yeah, I'm going to say Cardinals ride the momentum. And even if the Dodgers are somehow able to get Tyler O'Neill out, they're not going to get Goldschmidt out right now, or Harrison Bader or Nolan Arenado. It's just like they're just like too good right now.
They have that goddamn voodoo.
And and they have creative player Lars Nootbaar, who I'm not convinced is just
But the
Creative
Cubs
player.
just took 2 of 3 from the Cardinals to end the season. So
That's true.
People forget that.
I knew you were gonna say that, so I didn't want to say it.
People forget that. So yesterday, during yesterday's game, I may have indulged in a little marijuana, and I was talking to Andy like throughout the game. But then I was thinking, do you think that this is literally what I was thinking yesterday? Since the Cardinals didn't finish that game and they kind of like half-assed their way through that game with like rain delays, that like I'm taking that as like a third day off. So is it going to be like a rest versus rust situation to the Cardinals, like where they really haven't played since Saturday, and then since Hap hit that home run and walked or to go ahead in the 9th, they really haven't won since. I mean, they haven't won since Friday. Really haven't played well since Friday.
And actually, to that point, that's a good point.
I'm going ahead. I'm taking the Dodgers with that logic.
And that's a good point, because the Cardinals, they clinched it up earlier in the week, right? Like on Monday or Tuesday or something. So like they've been set. They knew like no matter what, they were going to be the second wild card team. Whereas the Dodgers were like, all right, we got to win every game to try and win the division. Literally up until the last day. So like, yeah, there's definitely logic to that. That's a good point.
Dodgers won 5 in a row too. I'll say that.
I mean,
maybe more. I just can't see that far on the schedule right now. But on that note, I'm taking the Dodgers. I'm taking Scherzer in a winner go home game. Very good point about Max Muncy, but I also decided within the past couple minutes here that I fucking hate the Cardinals way more than the Dodgers. And it's actually really bothering me that they even made the wild card game this year. So Dodgers for sure.
Okay, so really quickly, you said after the no-hitter, the Cubs being a lock for over 78.5. At the end of August, you would have told me that the Cardinals were a lock to not make the playoffs. That was also a gimme bet to me too.
Yep. How many games in a row did they win?
17.
17.
That is so annoying.
Holy shit.
That's like,
so annoying. Yeah. I mean, hey, imagine covering it for 4 games in a row at Wrigley during the middle of it.
I mean, that was kind of fun.
They're just beating the shit out. Not when Zach Davies is pitching. That's fun for absolutely no one. Ty, who you got?
I got Cardinals because same logic as the last choice. Fuck the Dodgers. They have too much damn money and they have nothing to show for it, and it pisses me off that they could just have one player that makes as much money in a year as the entire Pirates organization. It's horseshit.
That says something about the Pirates, though. Too.
Yeah, I know. But also fuck the Dodgers, you know? Max Scherzer's cool, though.
To your statement saying they haven't done anything recently, I'm pretty sure they won the World Series last year.
Yeah, well, before that.
Okay. Last year doesn't count. I mean, listen, there's really no fans there all year. There's only 60 games. Anything could happen in 60.
Yeah,
all right,
you play 162.
Fucking right. All right, let's move to the ALDS. So this will be the first round. We got with Red Sox, since we all picked the Red Sox versus the Rays. All right, so Red Sox, Rays, best of 5. Rays have home field. Who we got here? Andy?
Rays. That's the team I think is going to go to the World Series. That's who I think is going to win it. They're just so good. They're so good.
Yeah, I'll say Rays too. I think their depth is it's incredible. Like almost every hitter they have is like an above average hitter, and they just play the matchup so well. Great pitching. So yeah, I'll say Rays as well.
Maxi Pad.
Yep, I'm gonna keep the Rays train rolling. Their bullpen is sick. I think that's gonna help them a lot down the stretch. I'll take the Rays here.
I'll make it 4 in a row with the Rays. small market team, they say, and I like that. I'm into that. Win it all.
Who's they that said that?
Just them, everyone.
All those guys in
No
Pittsburgh
one.
that he hangs out with.
Yeah. Talk about a small market team. Goddamn.
That's why I
Yeah.
said it.
That makes sense.
I'm gonna go Rays as well. And they're wagon. I don't think anybody's beating them. All right, we'll go the other ALDS series. Astros, White Sox. Ooh, I don't know. This is a tough one. I still don't know who I'm gonna pick here. Andy?
I don't know. I hate that I'm going first because I don't know who I'm gonna pick. I kind of lean towards the Astros just given the more experience. I've what's really shocking about the Astros is that starting pitching. I thought without Justin Verlander and without Garrett Cole, I was like, yeah, and then just with everything that happened with the sign stealing scandal and everything, I'm like, all right, there's just gonna be natural regression. And their pitching, their starting rotation has been pretty solid. Greinke, McCullers, Valdez, Jose Urquidy, all those guys are just solid. I think they're pretty good. And then obviously Correa, Altuve, those guys, it's a pretty good offense. So I'm a slight lean towards the Astros just because of the home field advantage, I think.
I want the White Sox to go far. I mean, I think it's good for Chicago and it'll be fun to be in the city if they go far, but I don't really think they will. I don't know. They hadn't, they were right there with the Rays for number 1 seed possibly for, the first few months, 3-4 months of the season. And they just they didn't look that great down the stretch. They weren't horrible by any means. They were a good team, a really good team, but they didn't look like some dominant powerhouse that's this World Series favorite that everybody thought they were before the season started. So maybe they turn it on. I mean, I think they pretty much go as Tim Anderson goes. If Anderson has a big series, they win, but I'm not so sure that the White Sox can pull it off. And I think the Astros postseason experience is going to help them here.
Max?
I'm going to go with the White Sox here. Mostly because fuck the Astros. Just going to continue with that trend. But I do think pitching wins championships, and the Sox have had a really good staff all season. So I think they can get there on the backs of Giolito, Lynn, and it sounds like Rodon's pitch in the playoffs. So
okay,
I'm going Sox too. Just the hometown thing. Got to believe, dude. Also, I mean, the Astros aren't cool anymore. They were cool back in the early 2000s, the fucking Jeff Bagwell era, but since then, they ain't shit. So Sox.
I feel like nobody's talking about how, not that it's really anything to do with on-field play, but if we would have told you in 2003 that in 2021, Tony La Russa and Dusty Baker would be managing against each other in the playoffs, you'd have been like, no, are they even going to be alive? These dudes, how old are they? They're in their upper 70s, right?
Russo looks like he's 85.
This is a fun game. Who's older, Tony La Russa or Joe Biden?
Biden, right?
This actually is a fun game.
It's Biden by a year, I think.
No, I don't know. I mean, I guess. We'll see.
Oh, dude, Andy's right. It's Biden by a year, 78 to 77.
Because I think it's La Russa's birthday
Today.
It is.
I thought I saw a tweet. Yeah, I could be making that up.
He just turned
No,
77 today.
Damn, that's crazy. And then who's Dusty Baker? Oh, Dusty's probably 73, 72. Okay. So yeah, two guys in their mid 70s. That's crazy. Hey, happy birthday, Tony La Russa. I'm going Astros as well, but I'm only going Astros because I have a future on the Sox to win the World Series. So I gotta mush myself here. I've got to fall here so I can walk on my gambling bets.
So real quick, I have a friend of a friend. It's like a crazy betting story that you always hear, but this guy put in a 14 parlay basically at sometime last season. He took the Bucks to win the Super Bowl, the Milwaukee Bucks to win the NBA championship, and the Lightning to win the cup in the NHL. And now the last leg of the parlay is the White Sox need to win the AL pennant. So they don't even need to win the World Series. They just need to make it there.
And
$50 parlay to win $135,000.
Can he cash out? Because I would cash out.
So I guess the casino or the book in Vegas reached out to him and they said, if you cash this out right now, we'll give you 30 grand.
I mean, I think I'd still do it. That's 30 grand.
I don't
That's
know.
tough, dude.
How much could
What
he
do
win?
you
you
guys
So
said?
think?
tough, though.
He could win 130,000. Right?
Yeah, I think it was 135 and change.
If what happens, can you go through that one more time?
The White Sox just have to win the pennant.
The
Just
other three.
Not even the World Series.
Yep.
Wow. I would probably. I don't know. I would cash out, but
It's
Yeah,
tough
30
because he already predicted the Super Bowl, Stanley Cup, and the NBA Finals winner,
that's
basically.
insane.
Oh. I'd cash out.
So-
That's just me.
One last thing I was gonna mention about the White Sox. Against teams above 500 this year, they were 27-29, and on the road they were 40-41. So do
Yeah,
with that.
I noticed
what
that
you
too.
Oh, I
You're
love
saying
that.
cash out.
will.
I would cash out.
30
Yeah.
grand is better than 0 grand.
Yeah.
That's
So-
true almost every day of the week, I think.
But you would be
Sources
kicking
confirmed.
yourself if the White Sox are popping champagne.
Yeah, because
At
I'll
the
tell
end
you
of
what,
the-
if I could have taken 30 grand and I lose that bet, you could find me jumping off the Sears Tower.
You know what you should do? You should tell him to hedge. And then once he does, we'll all hammer the Sox because there's no way the Sox won't just fuck that guy over by going to the win independent.
Right.
Tell him to take one for the team.
He could hedge. Yeah, that's a good call.
Hedge and then we bet. And then we win. That's my logic right there. Tell him to be a team guy. All right, Brewers Braves on the NL side. Let's go here. Let's start with Ty this time. Ty, who you got?
I like the Braves because they're dope. Fucking that whole young squad is just, I mean,
We are never starting with you again.
also big Chipper Jones fan, so go Braves. Also, my little league team, my first ever little league baseball team, the Braves. So, facts.
See,
Gotta
now
go to the
that's
roots.
what you should have started with.
And we
I
live in the
just
land
did.
of the free
I
and the
just
home
did
of the
Braves.
Braves.
I started, and then that's what I started with.
Oh,
Yeah, why
man,
don't we let an actual baseball analyst go?
That's the last time I was going to go
Me?
reverse, but you know what? No. We'll start with Tony.
So here's some smart thoughts after that.
It's not
Uh,
anything after that.
depends. Are you telling me Jock's gonna be wearing his pearl necklace for the series?
Yeah, I think
All
he's
right.
going to be.
I'll say Braves. No, I think the Braves. I was surprised. I felt like the Braves kind of underachieved all year, and not that the Brewers overachieved, but I don't know. Actually, now that I'm saying it, I'm talking myself into it. Like, you tell me you got Woodruff, Burns, and Freddie Peralta in a best of 3 series, or first of 3 series rather. Like, I feel like give me that team any day. You only need to score like 2 runs probably a game. So I'll say Brewers. I do like the Braves though. I think that'll be a fun series to watch. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Braves win, but pitching is going to carry the Brewers.
Okay, I got you. Andy?
Yeah, I'm with the Brewers too. That three-headed monster. That's actually small market. That was my World Series. Brewers, Rays. That starting rotation is as good as it gets. And like Tony mentioned, like you get Woodruff, Burns, and Peralta locked in, and then you throw it to Hader for the last 2 innings. It's a pretty good recipe for success. And I think the Devin Williams thing is a big loss, but I think they'll be pretty okay. But so yeah, and then the other thing too, Eric Lauer, like he's been pretty solid this year, 1.138 ERA. Last year, like everyone was talking about the Padres fleecing the Brewers in that deal because Zach Davies was really good last year and Trent Grisham was really good. And now it's like, maybe the Brewers won that trade because Luis Urias has been really good, hitting a bunch of home runs. And Eric Lauer looks like he might be a pretty good starter for them. So I'm going Brewers.
2 things. One, you said without Devin Williams, they'll be pretty okay.
Yeah,
That's not
yeah.
that's not a World Series championship attitude. Confidence in your pick. They'll be pretty okay.
What an
Also,
what an idiot,
sorry.
by the way.
Yeah, who celebrates by punching walls?
That was number 2. Yeah, what the fuck?
I buried the lead. Sorry.
Like if you're
Yeah.
if you're on the Brewers, you have to like you're pissed at him, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
He
that's
didn't
the
just
most.
he didn't just screw himself. He's screwing the entire team.
I mean, that's up there with like crazy baseball injuries, like Sammy Sosa throwing his back out and sneezing, Devin Williams punching a wall, celebrating out for the playoffs. I mean,
no, the Sammy Sosa though, I've definitely as I've gotten older, like I've had some sneezes where I'm like, I can see what happened to Sammy there.
Andy, you're like 26, 27?
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm pulling my back, but I'm saying like I could see how it could happen.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's great. Max, who you got in this one?
I hate going after Tony and Andy because anything that I was gonna say that was remotely, smart, I guess, or good stats wise or anything, they already hit. But I will,
Insightful.
yes, insightful. There we go. I'll take the Brewers as well, though, mostly because I'm sticking with the pitching theme. They're those 3 starting pitchers are ridiculous. Couple interesting things that I'm looking at here. Brewers have a better winning percentage on the road, and so do the Braves. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. And I think Milwaukee being a hitter-friendly ballpark, that Braves lineup can do some damage up there. So we'll see.
What
I'm
is
going with the
the
Brewers.
Braves rotation? Is it Morton? I don't even know. I honestly don't even know who's in the rotation. That's bad. I know who's leading off for them. Jorge Soler.
Yeah. It'll
That's
probably be
awful.
Morton. Isn't Freed?
Freed,
Maybe Ian Anderson.
yeah,
Oh,
and
oh,
Wasker, I remember he got shelled in the first inning against against the Cubs. That
oh, yeah.
to
Yeah,
salvage
really.
a series win, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was when KB hit the 2 dingers, right? Or was that game? Or
Was it a
Wilson
Grand
hit
Slam game?
two?
I think both Bryant and Wilson hit 2 homers that game.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Fuck, dude. That you're right, Andy. That's under City. Jesus. At least first 5 under. And wait, real quick for the playoffs. That's not the runner on second rule, right? That's
No, that's
Dunzo. RIP.
yeah, that's RIP. And I thought I read that they said that it's not coming back next year either. So
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one.
That the runner on
Uh,
second rule is not coming back in the regular season next year.
correct. I thought I read that. I'll double check.
I actually didn't see that.
I'm gonna go with the Brewers in this one, just because I think they have that voodoo magic that the Cardinals had, and they're just rubbing off on them. You're right, they're overperforming. I don't know what their Pythagorean win-loss total was, but I think they're definitely outperforming. But their pitching is so fucking good. I mean, even with
Crazy how Willie Adames just got traded to the Brewers from the Rays, and all of a sudden is one of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
What does that say about the Rays too? That they're like, yeah, this guy, like, yeah, we're over him. We gotta ship him away.
I mean, and they traded away another top reliever, that Diego Castillo to the Mariners.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where he's like a setup guy for them. He was like a middle reliever for the Rays.
The Rays, if they ever call me and they're like, hey, we'll give you this guy who's like really, really good. I'm like, all right, what's the angle? What's the angle?
But like it works because they had Wander Franco, and then they got like JP Fireheisen and I forget who else in exchange for Adames. So it's like it worked out, but that was actually until he got hurt. Adames could have won the NL MVP
Yeah.
the way he was playing. So there could have been the answer to call back to the beginning. A guy traded mid-season who wins an MVP.
That's true.
In an alternate universe, it could have been Willie Adames.
That would have been the most bar night trivia question ever. Nobody would have ever gotten that one. All right, the final NLDS series. Whoever you picked in the wild card, so Cardinals or Dodgers at Giants. Giants again won 107 games this year, which is, you want to talk about a team overperforming. Who do you want to go with here? We'll start with Tone.
Giants. They mix and match so well, and like you just said, 107 wins. I think they were like the best National League team since the 50s or something, I believe, right? I can't remember exactly what the stat was, but was like since like 56 Dodgers maybe was what it. But either way, you know, they're just incredible, and their pitching has been pretty good. And the way that they can mix and match, they have so much depth for, you know, whether it's a righty on the mound or a lefty, they just have a lot of guys that can come in, pinch hit, match up, platoon. So their depth, I think, wins out. But that would be a fun series. Like, I think momentum is important. So I feel like the Cardinals could into that and make it a pretty good series. But ultimately, give me the Giants.
Andres?
If I'm sticking with the pitching theme, I have to go with the Dodgers just on paper. Buehler, Urias, and Scherzer. That's a
You
pretty
love
good.
Urias.
Oh, I love Julio Urias. I think he's awesome. That's really good. I don't know. I guess I'm like the skeptic in me is like just on paper, like how can the Giants beat the Dodgers? Then they won 107 games. Like how can they not beat the Dodgers? Like so I don't. My gut goes towards the Dodgers, and I think that's what the Dodgers are suited better for. Right, is a long season and a long playoff series. That's why a 1-game series scares me for the Dodgers advancement.
Okay. Maxie?
I'm going to go with the Giants here. Talk about the Dodgers pitching, but the Giants have some pretty damn good starters too, and the back end of their bullpen is real solid. I don't know who their pitching coach is, but some of these guys that like I'm looking at Logan Webb is a 3.03 ERA, and like his K9 is pretty absurd. Like he came out of nowhere. So
And he hit a home run in in the last game of the season.
Yeah.
yeah, and
who
Gossman
the
at the
fuck
top
is
of the
Logan
rotation.
Webb?
I'll take the Giants.
I love that. Ty?
Do you even really want to know? Doesn't matter. I'm probably just Giants. Like they're better, right? They're the better squad.
Say Voodoo Magic. This is a major Voodoo Magic team, right?
All I know
you gotta
is
use
that
the hashtag believe it. Just
all
throw
year
that
I've
out
heard
there.
people say the Giants are really good, so I'm gonna go with the team that everyone thinks is really good. There you have it.
That's not a bad strategy. I'm also going to go with the Dodgers, though. I don't know. I just think their pitching is too good. I just think in the playoffs, the Dodgers or the Giants pitching is going to get exposed. But
Brandon Crawford's WAR is 6.1.
it's so. I mean, how you want to talk about? That's a guy that's having like the best year of his career in his mid-30s. It's bonkers that he's doing it right now.
I just feel like constantly throughout the season, I did not want to believe in the Giants, but every time I would check the standings and see what they had been doing in the past 10 games, it's like, how can you not?
Kyle, you and I had a conversation like 120 games in where I told you, I was like, yeah, I'm waiting for the Giants to fall back so that the Dodgers will overtake them. And you said, dude, it's been 120 games. It's not a fluke anymore.
Damn, did I?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do. We were driving into work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were asking if you should bet the Dodgers. I was like, no, dude, hammer the Giants, and they were plus money, right?
Mm-hmm. They were
Did
plus
you?
money. No, I never believed it. You could have came to me in March from the future, magically from the future, and said, hey, the Giants are gonna win the NL West, and I would have not believed you. I would have said, tell me some real truth from the future, not that.
Or if somebody told you the Dodgers would win 106 games but not win the NL West, and like leave that up to interpretation.
Yeah.
I mean, most people would have thought it was the Padres.
Padres were really good.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Really is remarkable what the Giants are doing.
Yeah.
So Tony and sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. So, like, I was actually while you guys were talking, I was looking up the Giants stats. Like, talk about remarkable. Guess how many players they had with more than 60 RBI in the season, the whole season.
I have the page pulled up, so I'm not gonna guess.
Yeah, I
So
can't
I'll
answer
leave
this
you guys.
question either because I'm looking at it.
I could
I
not
do no
believe it.
research.
There's two. Mike Yastrzemski at 71 and Brandon Crawford at 90 RBI. I know like RBI isn't like the the biggest category or the most important category, but like they had just those two guys. Brandon Belt almost hit 30 homers and had 59 RBI. Posey only had 56. Like it's crazy.
What did KB have?
Runs scored.
7 and 22, 7 home runs, 22 RBI.
So what would that give him for his yearly total? How many did he have?
That's a good question. Give me a second.
You gotta get the
25 and 73.
Oh, but hey, that's another good line, by the way. I set 24 and a half. So God, that's actually, you know what? Come on.
You know,
Thank
you should work for a book, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think they would take one look at my jock over 33.5 and then just shoot me.
They would take one look at my jock.
This is getting weird.
The book works
And
for
then
Kyle.
just-
Kyle doesn't work for the book.
They take one look at my jock and then just shoot me. All right. ALCS. So we'll go Andy, Tony. We'll go with the normal rotation. Ty, you are so far at the bottom.
Because you
So
saved the best for
Andy,
last.
You have Rays, Astros. Who you got? Then in how many?
Rays and I'll go 6. Because I think the Astros they're pretty solid. I think they'll win a couple games. But the Rays, like, I just think they're based off last year. Like, this is their year, I think. So I'm gonna go with the Rays.
Ooh. You like the Rays that much? All right, Tone.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Rays too over Astros. I don't want the Astros to win. I just don't think it's that compelling of a story or narrative. And the Rays have never won, right? They don't have any world champions. So like, I think I'll probably be rooting for the Rays pretty much throughout the playoffs. I just think that's really cool. And like we said, they're just really good. So give me Rays for rooting interest. And I think they're the better team.
Love that. Max.
What do I have? White Sox, Rays here.
Yep.
I'm taking the White Sox. Give me the Chicago team. I'm sticking with the pitching theme here. Like I said before, pitching wins championships. They have a better rotation than the Rays. Give me the White Sox in 6.
Sox in 6. Tyler Psalm.
I mean, I don't fucking know, dude. Rays in, I don't know, 5 or 6.
So it's about the 7.
Yeah,
best
yeah.
of
I know
7.
it's a best of 7. I don't know, but who fucking knows, dude?
Or Rays in 3.
Yeah, yeah. Rays in 3. I'm gonna just go 6 because 5 seems like that's kind of not enough.
I'm going Astros. I have Astros Rays. And I think the Astros are going to pull it off in 7.
No one believes in the
I
White
know.
Sox.
No one believes in the Astros.
That's true.
This is Houston Sports Weekly, man.
These are a bunch of cheaters, dude. I can't believe you just rooted for cheaters.
I'm rooting for Dusty Baker.
He's trying to
soiled-
anti-mush himself.
You
I will
soiled
say-
your-
okay.
I know exactly what Kyle's doing.
I will say, I agree with you there, Kyle. If Dusty Baker wins a World Series, I'll be happy for Dusty Baker.
No, Max was right. I am trying to just anti-mush myself.
See right
I'm trying
through
to
your
mush
tricks.
myself into money. And this is the way I do it. All right, NLCS, whoever you got. So this would be, we'll start with Andy. You have Dodgers, Brewers.
I'm gonna go Brewers. I think it'll go to 7, like it was at 18. I've just been impressed with the Brewers all year. I think they're just so good. I'm going Brewers.
Tone.
I'm going to say Giants, just like Max said, Voodoo Magic and new decade. Instead of even year Magic like they were last decade, it's odd year Magic now this decade. So I'm going to say Giants is their year.
Hey, come up with a hashtag on the spot for them for this year.
Hashtag Voodoo Magic.
That's really good.
They do have the voodoo.
Credit you, Max.
You guys need to reach out to the Giants social media team. Get them using the Voodoo Magic hashtag.
Kyle knows some people. He's got some sources.
Yeah.
Trust me, it'll work. Max, who you got?
I'm gonna go with the Cubs. No, I'll take the Giants here as well. I have them against the Brewers, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Giants. I like their lineup better than the Brewers. I think their staff can hang with that tough 3 that the Brewers have. They have that strong bullpen. I don't know. I think it's going to be a tough series. I think it could go 7 games, but I'm going to take the Giants.
Okay, give me your games. Andy, how many games?
For the Brewers, I said 7. Brewers, Dodgers, and 7.
Tone,
Give me
how-
7. All 7.
And Max, how many did you say?
7.
Fucking love a game 7. All right, Ty.
Well, I'm just gonna follow trend here and say Giants in 7.
You guys are really original here.
Also, because the movie Little Giants, that shit slaps.
Icebox.
Yeah. I'm going Dodgers. Dodgers in 6 over the Brewers. Again, no intuition. I'm basically still just trying to mush myself. That's my logic. All right, Worlds. God damn, I love the World Series. All right, World Series. So Andy, you have Brewers Rays. That might be the most boring World Series on the planet.
It's gonna be
I don't think I would
World
watch every
Series of
second,
all
but
time.
that'd be so boring.
That'd be the lowest rated series of all time.
Yeah, the MLB would hate that.
Yeah. But
Didn't get that. Could you
Nope.
try again?
Siri
Siri
My
doesn't
Siri
believe
was-
you either.
Yeah, Siri hates it.
uh,
World Series.
I'm going with the Rays strictly because I said Brewers in 7. I'm doing like some crazy like maybe over analysis here, but I think the Woodruff, Burns, Peralta trio will just be tired by the time after a 7-game series, after a long season, shortened season last year. And the Rays I think will go in like 5 or 6. So I'm going Rays in, let's go 6 over the
Is that
Brewers.
a little 2016 Indians logic there? How their starters got tired towards the end of the World Series?
Yeah, like I mean, you know, had the Indian starters first of all been healthy, like who knows, you know? It's a big what if for Cleveland sports fans.
Yeah, I don't really care for them though.
I knew you wouldn't.
I don't give a shit. Colin.
I am gonna say the Giants for everything I just explained in the NLCS. It's an odd year magic, voodoo magic.
Hashtag Voodoo Magic.
Yeah, and I think it's the depth too. Like it's the depth World Series, Giants versus Rays. You basically have 2 lineups that are completely different depending on the starting pitcher. Like, you know, in game 1, there could be like 4 or 5 different players playing than in game 2 for both teams. So it's just that's the way baseball is now, with, you know, better or worse. Like I personally liked baseball when it was like the same guys would play 7 positions or whatever every day, like the Cardinals, how they play it pretty much. But it's just not the way it is. And like it works, especially after the COVID year. And I think like the Giants, the Rays have been doing that for a while, but the Giants just have magic this year and they've gotten a lot of big hits. So I'll say that continues in 7 games.
I love that. Hashtag Voodoo Magic. Max.
So I have White Sox Giants. I was using the phrase team of destiny for the White Sox all season. And this is where they're destined to lose. I have them going down to the Giants in the World Series. Everything that Tony was saying, I agree with. It's funny, right before he said the odd number thing, I couldn't remember if the Giants won in all even or odd years. I was kind of pissed when I saw even because I was going to use that the opposite way that Tony did. But anyways, I think the Giants have proven all year that they're the best team. No one's believed in them, and they're going to prove that once again they were the best team in the MLB this year. Giants in 6.
Giants in 6 over the Sox. So that would mean would they clinch at home? I don't know. How does the series go? Does it go 2-3-2, right? Baseball. So they clinch at home. And how does the world home field advantage? Is it just better team?
Best record.
Right? It's not with the All-Star game anymore. People forget that. So I don't even know who won the All-Star game this year, but
I think it was the AL. Hasn't the AL won a bunch in a
it was
row?
the fucking AL.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you who won any All-Star game except the year they tied, and I don't even remember what year that was.
02.
Okay.
July 11th, 02. Wait, here, this could be like a good on this day column. How the 2016 All-Star game led to the Cubs winning the World Series. Because then they talk about how they felt pressure being at Wrigley, like playing at Wrigley those first couple of games.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so imagine if they had a
fan of the
game
World
6 or
Series.
7 at Wrigley, that pressure.
Yeah, I mean, I said it even like covering the World Series, and I've talked about it since. Like, whichever team was playing at home felt the most pressure and like the tension from their fan base. So yeah, so you're right. Like whoever won the World Series or whoever won the All-Star game, was basically destined to lose the World Series because with just like the fan base where they were so nervous and all that nervous energy just translated onto the field. And I mean, the Indians, like they just seemed tight. Not that the Cubs, didn't, but like it was, and the vice versa in games 3 and 4, first games at Wrigley, the Cubs were so tight. They looked like just nervous. And this is all like me sitting up in the press box, like saying that they were nervous. I don't know that they were nervous. They just looked tight and they played tight and not loose.
Fuck yeah, you say it confident, as confident as possible. I'll believe it.
Yeah.
Write that as a column. So I'm looking at the 2016 All-Star game. Guess who ironically got the win for the AL?
Chris Sale.
Corey Kluber.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Andrew Miller had a hold, but I think he was with the Yankees.
The
at that point.
Yankees, yeah.
I mean, still he finished with them. Ooh, that's a good high thought. Fuck, I might write that one.
Do it.
All right, Ty.
I don't even know what other team I had, so I'm just gonna go Giants and 6. Call it a fucking day, dude.
I love Ty's picks.
Oh, that's great. I'm going
Indians in
Astros.
3.
Lamont Indians in 3. Pardon me. I'm going to go Dodgers in 7. It's going to be the ultimate.
Ooh.
Wild card World Series win, huh?
They're going to do what the Dodgers did to them in 2017. It's the revenge tour. Can you imagine how I'm going for the most viewed or the highestly rated World Series while Andy's going for the lowest rated World Series?
See, but I think it would be so exciting. The Brewers against the Rays. Like, I think that would be such a fun matchup. Like for a
You think
baseball
that-
fan. Like, wouldn't
For,
you
like-
be excited to see the Rays play the Brewers?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're also not like the casual baseball fan. Ty,
No,
would
I
you
know.
watch-
I agreed. No, agreed 100%.
I never
So I'm
not
watched
gearing
World
towards the
Series
casual
anyway,
fans.
so like no, I wouldn't.
Would you watch if it was Astros Dodgers?
No, I don't care.
About if the Sox were in it?
If the Sox were in it, I would definitely watch.
Did you watch when the Cubs were in it?
No, I fell asleep when they won it in the rain delay, and I woke up.
You're
and I was like,
kidding
"All right."
me.
I was like, I guess the Cubs won.
You're kidding
I
me.
absolutely hate you right now.
That's what you were doing?
Yeah, I didn't care, dude. I'm sorry, I'm not a Cubs fan. So I was
Oh,
like,
Jay
You were
said that.
sleeping during the greatest game ever played.
yeah, the highlights were cool though.
Oh, you're such a prick.
Talk to me when it comes around to the Super Bowl, dude.
Yeah. You'll be
Oh,
outside
football.
fixing the tire of your car.
Yeah,
For
no shit.
reference, in 2015, I think it was the Broncos Panthers Super Bowl. We were at Max's parents' house, and Ty spent the whole first half fixing a flat tire in a snowstorm. Well, he drove us there in a snowstorm, got a flat tire, and none of us even offered to help him fix it. We just watched him fucking
We're
Those are
watching the
fucking
game.
assholes, dude.
literally the whole first half. It's the funniest fucking thing. Oh, all right. We'll finish up here at the starting 5. So the starting 5 this week is top MLB playoff games of all time. It could just be, I mean, obviously it's mostly going to be recent history. We're not going to go back to like, was it Mike who hit Carl Yastrzemski or whoever hit that home?
It's
Billy
Carlton
Yastrzemski.
Fisk. That was one of my moments.
No. The guy who hit the walk-off home run in 61
Oh,
from the Pirates. I
Oh,
don't know. Bill Mazeroski.
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Was that the homer
What?
in the Glowman? Was that?
No, I thought that was Hack Wilson. I think Homer in the Glowman was like 40 years before that.
You're right. Yeah. Oh no, it was Gabby Hartnett of the Cubs. Wow, I'm an idiot.
Do you even cover the Cubs? Come on now.
I didn't in 1938. I'll tell you that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Tony
Century
La Russa
ago.
wasn't even alive. There's no way Tony Andracki was alive.
All right, so we'll do a snake draft here. So Andy, you can go first. And Ty, are you writing these down?
Yeah, I'm writing these down.
All right, since I'm going first, I'm gonna have to go with Game 7 of the 2016 World Series. I mean, that's like a. Why have me go first then if you wanted to pick it?
I thought that was
I
going
was the
to.
only
I
one
thought
that
that might
genuinely-
fall to me at 4.
I mean, pretty easy. I mean, you could. I still watch it, and I still expect like I still don't expect what happened to happen, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I still don't like watching the bottom of the eighth. I literally will my palms will start getting sweaty. As my forehead will too. Tone.
So I'm gonna say 15 wildcard game, National League wildcard game. That was the first playoff game I ever worked. And Kyle, you just reminded me before we did this pod that Garrett Cole started for the Pirates. I'd completely forgotten that fact. But yeah, Schwarber hit a ball that, like, I don't think anybody's still gotten because it's in the Allegheny River. And it was cool. It was the first time I'd ever been to PNC Park. First playoff game I ever covered. Tommy LaStella was hitting fifth that game, which is crazy to think that in like a winner go home game that like he was starting and hitting fifth and playing third. So it was cool. It was the coolest game. The way Arrieta pitched, the energy, that was still the loudest I'd ever heard a ballpark. I think there's only one other time that comes as close to that. But like the loudest I ever heard a ballpark was when, who was it? Starling Marte or McCutcheon, whoever grounded into a double play with the bases loaded.
Marte.
It was Marte. So it was so loud. Like I couldn't hear anything. And I have no idea how Arrieta executed a pitch that induced a ground ball that like one of their fastest base runners hit into. It was just an incredible game all around.
Max. So at that time, me and Max were living together, and you remember we were like the days beforehand because the Cubs knew that they were going to be in that game.
Yep.
You remember we were writing out like mock lineups.
Yes.
Did you guys have Tommy LaStella hitting fifth?
No. God,
I don't think he was on our active roster.
I think we were literally putting like the 25-man roster together, and I think we might have both left Tommy LaStella off of it, which is funny. All right, Max, go ahead.
I'm gonna go first pick. I'm gonna go with Game 6 of the 2016 NLCS. Kyle Hendricks versus Clayton Kershaw at Wrigley Field. Hendricks twirls an absolute gem. Was it a complete game?
No, 7 1/3.
7 1/3 shutout innings. Cubs win 5-0 to go to the World Series.
Okay, was that October 22nd?
Magical.
Jesus Christ, it's
Magical.
crazy that that's 5 years ago. All right, I'm gonna loop around here. So I'm gonna take World Series Game 5 and World Series Game 6 of 2016. I'm gonna say Game 5 is my first round pick because if you don't win Game 5, you don't get the Game 6, unless they're absolutely shoved it right up the Indian swoop that night. And then Game 6, obviously. You know what's funny about Game 6? Me and Max went to the Hawks game that night and sat like third row. Didn't even watch the game. We were in the hall, or we were in the hall during the intermissions watching it, and we saw the Bryant home run, and there were like obviously everybody's watching the game, watching the Hawks game, but we're in the hall like let's fucking go. And then we're third row, like trying to stream it on one of our phones, and it's like the shittiest Wi-Fi.
That was the funniest part. Is we had like great seats at the Hawks game. We're right on the glass, and we're all just sitting there looking at our phones like this.
Yeah,
trying to stream the Cubs game.
It was
Like,
the stupidest fucking thing.
Kyle, did you just take 2016 World Series Game 6?
Yeah.
Wasn't that Andy's first pick?
Oh, I picked Game 7.
Oh, you said 7. That's not me, dude. That's not me.
This guy was sleeping during the 7th game. He didn't know there was a 7th game.
I was sleeping.
Jesus Christ, Ty.
We're
I
good.
like
More
how this
for
draft
you.
just completely turned into Cubs playoff games. Kyle's like, you can pick any game of all time.
Everyone picks Cubs games.
We're 5 for 5 right now.
This is a Cubs draft.
I got a bunch of non-Cubs ones coming up.
Same.
Well, I don't.
Max, you're up.
That's good that you do because I don't. I'm gonna come back with the 2016 Game 4 of the NLDS. Cubs over the Giants in San Fran to go to the NLCS. That was actually a phenomenal game. The Cubs put up 4 runs in the top of the 9th to win the game. They had like a huge rally that inning. I know Baez, Contreras, and Zobrist were all part of it. That game was absolutely electric. The Cubs are kind of on their heels too because they did not want to have to come back to Wrigley, I believe, for a Game 5. So huge win.
It would have been Lester versus Cueto. I believe it was Cueto. Yeah, because Cueto started Game 1.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good one. Tone.
All right. First non-Cubs one. First non 2015 or 16. Game
Don't
five.
worry. Sam will cut this part.
What?
We'll cut this part. This is the
Okay.
Cubs out only.
Dodgers Astros game 5 2017. Astros won 13-12 in extra innings. I remember watching that game. I think it took hold on. Oh yeah, 5 hours and 17 minutes. It was the craziest game. Like so many lead changes. I don't even remember a lot of the big hits. I just remember it was an absolutely nuts game. And it felt like nobody in the bullpen could get an out. Joe Musgrove got a win that game for that. Like he ended up winning it for the Astros. It was insane.
Was that the game that kind of stirred the whole Astros trash cans thing? Because they crushed Kershaw that game, right? Didn't Kershaw start?
Who started? Yeah, Kershaw. Yeah, you got crushed. He gave up 6 runs in 4.2 innings.
Yeah, that was the game. I'm pretty sure that he maybe I have to look it up, but I think that's kind of what the very first game where people had inklings that the Astros were up to no good. That was holy shit, 14-13. That's wild. Andres, you got 2.
I got 2. So the first one I'm going to do the 05 game 3, Jeff Blum home run for the White Sox. I was 11. My mom was probably the 8th inning. Was like, you have to go to bed. School night, had to go to bed. She didn't get the magnitude of it. I went to bed, watched the rest of the game. Could not believe that Jeff Blum, who the White Sox acquired at the deadline, hit a home run. Absolutely unbelievable. So that one is my second round pick, right? Yeah, second round pick. And then on the flip side, I'm going 2001 game 7. It's my first baseball game memory is seeing Luis Gonzalez hit it off Mariano Rivera. And what I would have been 7, 8 at the time. So the first baseball game I vividly remember. And I remember thinking that was probably the only time in my life I've ever rooted for the Yankees, because it was right after 9/11 and everyone was like, the Yankees have to win because it's 9/11. And I'm and I was gosh, why are the Arizona Diamondbacks are so anti-American? Which looking back, I was such an idiot 7 or 8-year-old. But Luis Gonzalez hitting off
You're a
with,
patriot,
a
is what
perfect
you are.
pitch. What's that?
Said you're a patriot is what you are.
Yeah, exactly. But then Luis Gonzalez hitting that absolutely perfect Mariano Rivera cutter for a bloop single to center field. So that's my 2.
That is if you ask what my earliest baseball memory is, that is honestly probably it too.
Yeah, that's definitely a staple right there.
That's a good one. Tone.
I'm up.
Yeah.
Crap. Okay, I was deciding between 2. So I'm gonna go with ALCS Game 2 2005, the AJ Pierzynski passed ball game. I remember watching that freshman year of college, and we actually had there was a fire alarm that was pulled, and I stayed up for the last possible minute because it was pulled right before the whole pass ball incident happened. And I was like, what the hell's going on? I need to figure this out. So me and a buddy stayed, and we eventually walked out, and we still didn't really know exactly what happened. And we came up, and Pierzynski was, had reached base, and it was this big controversy. So I'm going to say that it was a really interesting, cool game and a memory I'll never forget.
All right. So was it 16 years later? Did he catch the ball? Was it Josh Paul, right? The catcher?
Yeah, I think Pierzynski got away with one and the ump messed up. I'm going to watch it again real quick now and let you know.
All right. Let us know what the survey says.
You said that was game 2, right?
Game 2. Yeah.
Yeah, game 2.
Listen, Ty, I got these. You're good.
I already got it, dude.
You might have been sleeping during that one as well.
No, I got that one.
Max.
The ump called him out at home plate, and then the catcher, I don't know who that was catching for the Angels, rolled the ball back to the mound, and Pierzynski was safe at first. Mike Social running out. Yeah.
Team of that's literally Team of Destiny shit right there. That's crazy. All right, Max, who you got?
All right, so I hate to give you a Cardinals one, but I'm going to go with the David Freese game-tying triple in the ninth, and then a walk-off home run in extras in 2011 World Series Game 6 to send it to Game 7. That was absolutely electric. I don't care if you're a Cubs fan or if you hate the Cardinals with a burning passion. If you're just a baseball fan, you have to respect the hell out of that moment in that game specifically. I think Freese is he grew up in the St. Louis area too.
Yeah, he went to high school in St. Louis.
Which
True
makes
story. I
it-
have true story. I have a former coworker, a good relationship with Nelson Cruz. Nelson Cruz did not sleep for like 3 months after that World Series, just because of that ball that was hit over his. I mean, literally, you have a chance to win the World Series if you catch that ball and
Yeah.
went over his head.
Yeah, I mean,
And I don't think he played defense ever again.
He's been a DH ever since.
he's literally been a DH ever since. That is fuck, Max. That's such a good pick. I remember watching that game, and it's literally one game where and it's not only he tied it, and then when he hit that walk-off home run, you want that's like legendary shit.
Yeah.
That's literally legendary shit. All right, so I've got two here. I'm gonna go 2014, the AL wildcard game with the Royals and the A's. Pains me to do this because our boy John Lester was on the losing end there, but the Royals coming back from, I think it was 8-3 in the eighth. That place was just bananas. And then they came back from they were down in I think it was the 11th and came back and won. I mean, that also is team of destiny. Obviously they didn't win, but my second game is going to be the 2014 World Series Game 7, where Mad Bum came in and I think he threw 5 shutout innings.
Oh yeah.
And then with 2 outs in the ninth, Alex Gordon hit the fly ball to left field, or like the liner to left field that went to the wall, where you could have theoretically sent him and tried
You
to get
should have
inside the
sent
park.
him.
Yeah, see,
Should've
this
sent
is
him.
that. So you would have sent him, Andy? Would you have?
1,000%. Because
Yeah.
here's my thinking: is even if you're wrong, it's the most exciting play in baseball history. A guy to get thrown out at home plate to end the World Series in Game 7. In the tying run, it would have been the most exciting singular play in MLB history, or you tie the game. Either way, it would have had to be absolutely perfect throws. I would 1,000% have sent him 2 outs, right?
2 outs. Do you think
Yeah.
all of that was going through Rusty Kuntz's head at third base?
I don't know. I would have. As soon as that ball got down, you're waving. It's like Little League. You're waving until he's scoring. There's all that. He's either thrown out or he's scoring. You're not risking getting another hit off Madison Bumgarner. No way. You're not getting 2 hits in a row. You send him. Extremely
I probably
passionate
would've
about that one.
I probably would have been a pussy and held him because I have no balls. But fuck, that was such a good game. That was
So
the-
I actually had a futures bet for the Royals. I'd put $20 down and I would have won $400. It was the first ever futures bet I had made. I put it on the Royals and the Padres that year when I was in Vegas. And so I was like, this is awesome. The Royals actually have a chance to win the World Series. And they didn't, because they didn't send him.
you were one send away from winning.
Yeah.
That's why he's passionate about the send, really.
Also just in general.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. But if it was any team, you have to send him. I don't know. You lose by giving that complete effort and making them make absolute perfect throws. And that's what they would have had to do. They would have had to have a perfect relay to get them at home. And you can't assume that you're going to get another hit right away off of Madison Bumgarner. It's not happening. Not the way he was throwing. So you send him 100%.
Yeah, and I think it was the next guy, Selby, just popped up to third, and it was good night, Jim Curtains. All right, I love that. I love the passionate take, but I also it's monetary fueled. Max,
This is fresh after wiping my 9-year-old tears in 2003. Aaron Boone walk-off home run in the ALCS Game 7 off Tim Wakefield knuckleball. That was nuts. That's one that I still have a vivid image of in my head. And obviously it makes it even better that it was Red Sox Yankees.
yeah, that's a. I didn't even think of that one. Didn't even have that on my list.
That's a great call.
That should have been the top. Tone.
I'll stick with 03, and I'm gonna go with which game was it? It was NLCS Game 2, first Cubs playoff game I had ever attended. I was a fan in 03. I guess I would have been like 13, 14, whatever it was. And Cubs won 12-3 against the Marlins. Mark Pryor pitched. They just absolutely killed it. Alex Gonzalez had 2 homers. So I just remember being there and going to the game. It was like on a school night too. It was like a Tuesday night or some Wednesday night. So it was cool. It was a fun game to go to and one that I'll always remember. But it also comes with a trivia question. And Kyle, I will buy all of your beers one night if you can tell me who finished the game for the Cubs in both corner outfield spots that year. So in that game, I mean. So I won't tell you who started it, but like whoever started it may not necessarily have finished the game there. So who finished the game in that corner outfield spots for the Cubs?
In 2002?
2003, Game 2 of the NLCS against the Marlins.
I'm going to say Troy O'Leary and Doug Glanville.
Oh, dude, the fact that you got Troy O'Leary was amazing. But no, it was Tom Goodwin.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought
That's-
by Tony's
that's pretty
reaction, I thought
close.
he got it.
Wait, I don't know how you even I totally forgot Troy O'Leary even existed, let alone was on the Cubs, let alone played in 2003 NLCS. So when you said that, I was like, oh my God, I owe Kyle a bunch of beers. But yeah,
It's a lot of walrus.
yeah.
Oh, it's funny that's the second week in a row that Troy O'Leary has been mentioned on this podcast.
What? What was last week's reference?
I think he was number 26 and we did episode 26.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is a Troy O'Leary podcast from here on out.
Troy O'Leary.
You got to get him on the podcast so that he knows that.
Yeah,
Oh my. Yeah, I think we literally looked up Troy O'Leary last week.
that's crazy.
Oh yeah, he was the hefty lefty, right? And he hit a clutch home run in didn't he hit a home run in extra innings or something or to tie the game in game 3 or game 4 or something like that? Damn, I don't know how I knew that he was in the game here, but I didn't know. I don't know what else he
He had a homer in the NLCS. I don't know what game it was.
Yeah, shit. Well,
That's crazy that
Dang.
you got. I thought there was no way you were getting Troy O'Leary. I thought you might get Tom Goodwin, but I'm impressed.
damn, I completely forgot about Tom Goodwin. So damn, their bench was literally Randall Simon, Troy O'Leary, Paul Bacco, Doug Glanville, and Tom Goodwin.
And Ramon
That's-
Martinez.
Oh, number 6. It's disgusting that I know that. That's not
Yeah.
Disgusting bench, too.
Yeah.
that is actually a putrid bench. One time from the gym. Should have called up Jose Macias a year early. Andres, who you got? You got 2. You got your last 2 picks here.
All right, my last 2 picks. So I had a pool of 4, and I'm gonna go with game 4 of the 04 ALCS. Dave Roberts stealing.
Oh man,
That's a good one.
it's great.
And I mean, that was like, oh man, the Red Sox won a game, like good for them. Like, the Yankees are still gonna go to the World Series. And then my second pick, my last pick, is game 5 of the 04 ALCS. Big Poppy with the walk-off single. Was it the
13th inning.
12th? Yeah, it was really late in the game. It was really late in extra innings. And then the "Who's Your Poppy" chants. At that point, you were like, all right, maybe they can do it. And then the rest is history.
All right, this is a fun question. Who started Game 7 for the Yankees?
Jose Contreras.
Kevin Brown. I didn't even know he was on the Yankees. All right, then this is actually a really good one. What former Cub homered in that game?
Which game?
Game
7.
7.
Game 7 of the 04 ALCS.
Yeah.
Bill Mueller.
I was just gonna say Bill Miller.
Mark Bellhorn.
Fuck, that was my next guess.
Whoa.
Marky B, how we doing? Stud. Only guy to our first NL player to hit a homer from both sides of the plate in the same inning. Did you know that?
No.
I think subconsciously I did.
This guy. You,
Andy, I'm
Mac,
glad you
you-
brought that series up. That is like
Yeah.
the epitome of playoff baseball, that series.
Well, when you guys were getting to 03, I'm like, all right, someone's gonna bring up 04. Like it's getting there. But I'm good. All right.
Yeah, that was awesome. Good call.
Tone, you're up. Your final pick.
Yeah, I'm really pissed at myself for not thinking of that Dave Roberts stolen base. That was iconic. I remember like I was in high school trying to do homework for those games. Like I never did my homework, and I was like, "There's all this is happening." I'm like, "There's no way I'm doing my homework tonight." Like everything that's going on. So I will say the NLCS Game 7, 2006, the Andy Chavez catch.
Fuck.
I don't remember who he. Oh, here I was googling it. He robbed
Yachty.
Rowland. I forgot who.
Oh,
he
Scott
was.
Rowland.
Yeah. But that was just incredible. Like that was an amazing catch and moment, and I was like losing my mind. I didn't even really care if the Mets won or if the Cardinals won or whoever, but like that moment was just nuts.
What was it 3-3 in the 7th? Was that
It
the
was
situation?
1-1 in the 6th with a runner on first. And I can't remember if they got I feel like they got the double play because whoever was on first was like was already like almost halfway to third, and Chavez made the catch and had to just like go all the way back. And I want to say that he got doubled off, but I can't recall right now.
Considering the magnitude of the situation, that actually might be one of the greatest catches of all time.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Right up there
I
with
mean,
Dwayne Wise.
I was gonna say, I was gonna say really quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen the 30 for 30 on the 4 days in October with the Red Sox,
Mhm.
but like that when they do the Dave Roberts stolen base, like that's some of the best video editing. At least some of my favorite. I guess I don't know. I'm not a good video guy to know whether or not it's like really, really good. But at least that's some of my favorite because I'm like, oh my gosh, is he gonna steal? Is he gonna make it? Is he gonna steal off Mariano? So just had to throw that in there.
I think they took that off Netflix. The 4
It's on
days in
ESPN
October.
Plus. It's on ESPN Plus.
Oh fuck! Now I'm gonna watch that tonight. 1000%.
Same. That is literally what I'm gonna do after this.
I might put a Red Sox future on it right after.
I love Kevin Millar talking about who they have pitching and when they're
I
down
think about
3-0.
that all the time.
Yeah,
No, it's fucked up. I honestly think about that phrase all the time.
that's a good one.
Don't let us win tonight because we got PD tomorrow, show in Game 6 and Game 7. Anything can happen.
That's
That's fucking electric.
That's one of my favorite 30 for 30s, along with the SMU one.
Never seen it. All right.
I forgot so I was looking up more about the Mets game. I forgot the Mets lost after that Chavez catch. They ended up losing.
Who made? Do you know who made the final out?
No. Was it
Carlos Beltran.
Oh.
And then you know who recorded it? Who was pitching?
Yeah,
Andy.
Wainwright.
You don't remember that? It was that 3-2 curveball.
That's
down the
right.
middle?
I do remember that. Yeah.
I don't know if anybody was on or if it was just bases empty there down 1, but
Dude,
Yeah.
how do you guys remember all this shit? I can't even remember what I ate for breakfast.
you're sleeping during this game. That's
Just
why.
very vivid memories of fucking games that happened when you were 9 years old.
Dude, this is what being a baseball fan is, man.
I guess, dude.
This is literally baseball porn right now.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
Literally, I like this draft. If you had to pick who the winner is, I could make an argument for each one of us.
Yeah.
This is
I
a
think
pretty
it's
good
Freaking
draft.
good.
Yeah.
Well, no, Andy,
you're
you
the winner
won,
for
'cause-
picking a vote for. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say he's a winner because he chose Game 7 in 2016.
That's true. You took the best game ever played.
Yeah. Max, last pick.
Yep. I'm gonna wrap it with a layup. Kirk Gibson walk-off home run, Game 1 of the 1988 World Series. Full count, 2 bad knees. Obviously hits, the walk-off. He's doing the cha-ching celebration around first base. Yeah, I mean that's just something you do as a kid when you're playing wiffle ball and stuff. So that's an iconic moment for sure.
And the Vince Scully call.
Yeah, right.
That was game 1.
Yeah,
Right?
Off Eckersley, right?
Yeah. Wait, shit. This is only our 4th round, right?
No, you're
No,
good.
that was
That's
5.
Yeah.
This is 5, right?
Yeah.
I fucked something up here. My last pick. Fuck, there's so many good games. This is like, I feel like the Cubs games are just such low hanging fruit though. Like, I mean, come on, like all the Cubs games are obviously like the fucking best.
I feel pretty good about the Cubs games that I got after Andy took Game 7. I got the 2 advancing prior series games.
I feel good about
I'm
the
gonna-
one I took.
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep well tonight.
I mean, I'm gonna have to put a stipulation in here that all the Cubs games are better than any game that is not Cubs. I mean, because like I can choose, I know that NLDS game 3 win over the Braves, and I'm gonna say that's better than 2014 game 7. Like that's in my mind, it is. It just because I don't care about the Giants or the Royals. All right, I'm gonna go with what was it? The 2012 wild card game, Cardinals Braves. With that, I think it was David Ross was on the Braves for that, I believe.
Was he?
With the it was the very first ever wild card game, and the messed up the field fly rule, where it was like right in front of the left fielder, where the Braves would have scored, I think, 2 runs to make it a 6-5 game. But then they obviously called infield fly, so then it was 6-3 with 2 outs or some shit like that. It was Chipper Jones last game. They lost to the Cardinals, of course. Talk about voodoo magic. But yeah, that game was absolutely electric. The Braves doing the tomahawk chant, like the phenomenal stuff. I loved it. Well, did you guys have anything else that didn't make the list?
So
Ross, Hayward, and Eric Hinsky and Reed Johnson were all in the Braves in that game.
Kimbrel?
Kimbrel would have been too, yeah.
Damn, that's wild. All right, who'd you have, Andy?
I was gonna say Don Larson's perfect game in 56, but since we couldn't go that old. So this is why I was gonna include it. So when we first moved into our new place, we only had internet, we didn't have cable. And this was like during COVID when there was literally no sports going on. So there was nothing to watch. So I was on ESPN Plus looking at old games that they had. They had Don Larson's perfect game on ESPN Plus, and I watched it because it was 2 hours and 6 minutes. So I was done. I was in and out in 2 hours watching a perfect game. And it was awesome because if you watch it, like in like the 4th inning, the commentator's like, and Don Larson's gone 12 up and 12 down, like just like nonchalantly. And it's like just knowing that he's gonna go the rest of the way throwing a perfect game is pretty cool.
This is a dumb question, but what's the like is the camera view above home plate or is it like from center field for them?
It's a good question. I can't really remember.
So I feel like
Um,
if it was somehow from like the center field cam that we see today, that would make it a million times better.
The only thing I remember was it cutting to like, so they didn't have like scoreboard graphics, obviously. So like after every inning, they'd like pan the camera over. So I think it was behind home, but I can't remember. Panning to the scoreboard.
Damn, that's crazy. I honestly never would have even thought of that.
It's the only perfect game in World Series history.
Has there ever even been a no hitter besides that? Or Roy Halladay, right?
That's the only one I can think of. Yeah,
Besides that,
Roy
I can't
Halladay.
think of anything else. Max, you got anything else?
I mean, if you want to go way back, you can talk about the Willie Mays catch.
That's a good
I
one.
don't want to go way back.
We
If I
won't,
wasn't
but
alive, I don't care.
great catch. Like one of the best catches of all time.
It wasn't
He had a bet.
but I think in 2012 that Dan Johnson home run for the Rays to get them into the playoffs.
2011.
It was 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That was
'Cause the-
incredible.
The curse of Andino or the Andino for the Red Sox. Have you ever heard of that before?
You have to
No.
watch that video. I was just watching it The Orioles tweeted
yeah.
it out.
That's yeah. The 10-year anniversary of like that day was, I think, sometime last week. And so Robert Andino was the one who hit the 2-run single to give the Orioles the walk-off win. And it was like at that exact same time, within 3 minutes of the Orioles walking the Red Sox off, Evan Longoria hit that walk-off home run. It's wild. It really, like, the timing of everything is, it might be like, I think people have said it's like the craziest 10 minutes of baseball ever. Because I think the Yankees wanted to clinch the AL East, which means the Red Sox only had the wild card. But then it flip-flopped. Like the Rays were down like 7-2, right? Or 7-1.
I don't remember exactly what. Yeah, I don't remember all those details. It was just, I just remember I was watching the CSN NBC studios, and like we had 2 TVs, so we were able to have like 2 of the games go live. So we had like the Red Sox and the Rays game like going live. It was nuts.
Yeah, I went real in depth there. I'm looking it up real quick. They're down 7-0, and they needed to win to get the tiebreaker. And then they tied it in the 9th and then won it in the 12th. That's fucking bonkers. Dan Johnson. So Ben Zobrist was in that game and Joe Madden was managing. Fuck, Cubs everywhere.
Yeah.
Cubs everywhere. And
You
Austin
think,
Romine. Austin Romine was with the Yankees. There you go. What were you gonna say, Max?
You think Babe Ruth actually called a shot?
No. Just because it happened against the Cubs with me. If it was any other team, I'd say yeah, but no. All right, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Max, Ty, anything else?
No, thanks for coming on, guys. Appreciate it.
Fellas, thanks for coming on. We'll see who, and we'll figure out a side wager to see who wins these MLB playoffs, these predictions here. But thanks for coming on. Check them out at marqueesportsnetwork.com.
Can't wait to do
watching.
2022 Cubs over-unders.
Just
Frank
listen.
Schwindel homers 47 over under.
Over.
Patrick Wisdom.
Strikeouts over 300.
Over.
All right, boys. Thanks for coming on. We'll see ya.
Thank you.
Problem. Thank you guys.